Thank you, Bob, Greg, and Stephen. I'm going to be touching on some of the topics that you may have already heard about, but I'll be delving into how your professional affairs and services team carries out the activities that others have mentioned. And I do call it a team as opposed to a board, because it's not just the volunteers that you see here that go through all the work that I'm going to talk about. It's the staff as well, both the PASB staff, the admin staff, the finance staff, and all the other staff back at the OACETT office. So I just want to thank them because I can't, and my team, the Professional Affairs and Services Board, we can't take all the credit because the staff really does help us out tremendously. We often hear about how we need to promote our unique value proposition. Sometimes there's confusion out there as to what this means. I hear things like we need more affinity programs, or we need to offer more discounts to our members, or we need to reduce our annual fees. As members, volunteers, and staff, we need to agree that our unique value proposition is that we are certified members of OACETT, the only certifying body in Ontario for engineering technologists and technicians. We have more than 24,500 members who make up our professional association, and this is what we need to be promoting at every opportunity. Whether you're at a social event, at work, at an OACETT event, or just talking to your next door neighbor, we are either a certified technician, an applied science technologist, or a certified engineering technologist, and each of us has a responsibility to share with people what that means. We have a variety of disciplines that we represent, and we work for more than 6,000 companies in Ontario, all of which puts us at a unique advantage. I was recently at a conference, and I saw a couple of people wearing their rings. I don't know how many of you have your rings, but I asked them if they were members of OACETT, and sure enough, they were. And we took a few minutes to learn from each other. Wearing your ring is a great way to promote this great organization and our unique value proposition. Sometimes I get asked, what are we doing to advance the association? Or I hear statements like, my work doesn't recognize certification. Why get certified if I can get work without it? It's difficult to measure how we are advancing the profession, but we have some very solid statistics that help us with this. We wouldn't be increasing membership if we were not recognized or there was no perceived value to certification. We wouldn't have the highest number of associate members moving to certification in the history of the association. We wouldn't have companies and colleges wanting to know about our members and how to access that talent pool. We wouldn't have more than 350 active volunteers working together to make their professional association the best that it can be. We wouldn't have 28 chapters who are successful in attracting members, other associations, and government officials to their local events. We wouldn't have other associations representing other engineering team members talking about what a great job OACETT does. These things don't just happen. They are a result of a sound strategic plan, a vision, and a mission, and people like you and me out there promoting our unique value proposition. We recently streamlined our outreach activities, and we now have one member dedicated to colleges and one member dedicated to industry. Investing in building relationships and selling our unique value proposition is highly regarded by everyone we meet. It takes time, but I assure you the work is getting positive results. In late 2014, we were a major sponsor at the Colleges Ontario Higher Education Summit, which gave us increased branding opportunity and access to the right people. As Bob mentioned earlier, the 2014 salary survey once again revealed that certified members earn a higher income, which clearly demonstrates recognition in the workplace. The Professional Affairs and Services Board is responsible for the 28 chapters across the province, the 6 regions, and several committees. And I don't have to tell you that the purpose of the chapters and regions is to engage locally and to work to increase our value proposition. All of you do an excellent job, and we recognize the work that you bring to the members and to the association. This year, we have increased the chapter grant amount, and we increased funding for the regions. Each chapter is unique and offers different programs tailored to reach out to their specific members and non-members in their own communities. The chapter network is strong. This is evident from what we hear from the PASB counselor that represents you at the PASB table and updates us on your activities and through attending your events, as I and others have had the opportunity to do, experiencing firsthand the work that you do. This year we focused quite a lot of attention on women in technology. I know most of the chapters now have a WIT rep, which is great. We've developed terms of reference for the executive as well as for the individual chapter representative that outline the duties and responsibilities of the two groups. The Women in Technology executive members has been assigned a group of chapters that they work with and provide support to in developing and participating in programs locally. There have been some growing pains, but we are pleased with the progress to date. We have a dedicated WIT LinkedIn group that continues to grow, and through this we have attracted users from other associations and industries. The discussions have been interesting, and they provide mentoring and add different perspectives to common problems or experiences. Through our partnership with Skills Canada, they deliver presentations to elementary schools and secondary schools on the benefits of a career in technology and the trades. Through this outreach, we are hopeful that we can generate interest from boys and girls to consider our profession at a very young age. In 2014, your PASB spent a considerable amount of time reviewing the PASB rules, our terms of reference, and our chapter guidelines to ensure that they were relevant in today's business environment. I am pleased to report that we now have new and improved documents that will be finalized shortly. The expectation in today's world, as Bob mentioned earlier, is that we must communicate 24/7, and I'm proud to say that we do. Our social media sites continue to grow in activity. We attract different audiences interested in our business, and our members engage with each other and offer opinions on a wide range of topics. We have the Ontario Technologists magazine that is published 6 times a year. We have the eTech News published every month. We distribute council updates after each meeting. We have chapter event news from chairs on a regular basis, and we have our website, which is updated on a near daily basis. There's no question that we have the vehicles in place to communicate with you, our members. In the Professional Affairs and Services Department, we also need to communicate with a variety of other audiences. This includes the 24 colleges in Ontario, numerous companies, government, and other associations with an interest in business development activities, partnerships, member recruitment, sponsorship, and the like. This year, as I believe it was Greg mentioned, we were required to comply with the Canadian anti-spam legislation, which meant that we needed to put in place a process for communication and compliance. We are considered to have complied consent when communicating electronically with our members, but anything beyond that requires express consent. This means we need consent from individuals we wish to email at each college, each company, or each association. And this has been a very time-consuming and has taken valuable time from other activities. In addition, our 28 chapters are also required to comply with this legislation, as they are an extension of the OACETT arm, the same as if they were a branch in the office. We provided training to all of our chapters on the CASL legislation and the risks of non-compliance to the association. We put in place processes to help with compliance at the chapter level by, for example, creating a subscribe, unsubscribe link for email communications that allows the recipient to just tick that they don't want to receive those emails anymore. And this records the information in a central database. Prior to the CASL legislation, members or non-members didn't have the option of opting out of receiving emails from us or specifying the type they would like to receive. Communicating with members and non-members is a valuable member engagement and the relationship building tool that we need to take very seriously. If members begin to think that they are receiving too much email from us, they may start opting out of all communication, which diminishes the value to us. As your Vice President of PASB, I receive copies of all communications sent out by the chapters, the corporate, and council. I also review all of our social media sites and read comments and/or discussions taking place. I try to comment quite a lot myself, but there's a lot going on our social media sites, so I don't always have the time, but I encourage you to take a look if you're not a member of our Facebook group or our LinkedIn group to get out there and see what the discussions are. Being responsible for communications is a balancing act, and we have to constantly monitor whether we are communicating the right things at the right time to the right audiences. We will be looking at more this year. At most professional affairs and services meetings, we also set aside some time for professional development. The purpose of this is for the regional counselors to transfer this knowledge to the chapters so that they too can deliver this training to members. You can access any of these sessions via the OACETT Live YouTube channel. As part of OACETT's 5-year strategic plan, under strategic priority, communications and outreach, the Government Relations Committee is targeting activities in support of OACETT's qualified persons. Qualified person activities include maintaining vigilance in monitoring and responding to qualified person issues as they arise in order to support our members and follow up on information required and common areas of interest, as well as to ensure OACETT members who are qualified to perform job-related skills in the workplace are not denied the rights that are important to their careers and to their livelihood. A priority established by OACETT Council is to advance comprehensive government relations effort. There is general agreement to make a larger footprint at Queen's Park and the riding level to advance our members' interest. Staff and volunteers regularly attend various government meetings and events to talk about the benefits of certification and our role within the industry and the public, and the relevance of our professional association. These outreach activities will continue, and we will target our meetings to political and senior bureaucratic officials in key ministries of the Ontario government. Periodically, meetings are held with other organizations, such as the Ontario Building Officials Association and the Ontario College of Trades, to share information and work towards common goals. We will consider the potential and, if possible, expand the offering of third-party technical short courses that are in line with QP requirements to the membership. The MPP Link program was developed for chapters to engage government officials at the local level. Training and ongoing support has been provided to the chapters, and some have been more successful than others. In the coming months, we will be reviewing the effectiveness of the MPP Link program and will report back to you on what we find. Social media usage has increased in other areas of the association, and we will be using these valuable tools to promote our government relations efforts and to solicit input and dialogue from our members. Currently, we communicate via the Ontario Technologists, but social media will allow for more immediate interaction. Government relations is a priority for our association, and as chair of the Government Relations Committee, I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.